Interview with Freddie Mercury, 1984, David Wigg talking to him in Munich about his solo plans.
Well, what I wanted to ask you was, Freddie, how do you keep your enthusiasm for what you are doing? I mean,
money.
Because it's 10 years, isn't it?
I know, it's well, that's part of it. It sounds very well.
Of course, we're all in it for the money, and I'm not afraid to say that. But of course, and the glory and everything, we've got all that. It's quite easy for me to give up right now because I have all that. I have the money and all that. So, of course, when it comes down to being serious, it's not just for the money. It's just, I think it's just longevity. I think we've got to a stage where, and in a funny way, especially in Europe, I think Queen have actually got a new lease of life. After so many years, I thought, and being away for 2 years, I thought, my God, they've probably forgotten us. But it's sort of like, it's been like a rebirth. This is one of our strongest albums. And I couldn't believe that we've had 3 singles in the top 10, which we've never had from any album before. And so I'm quite amazed, to be honest. It's like I said tonight, I said, until you buggers stop buying our records, we'll still be here.
Yes.
It's like, if they want us, we'll be here.
Yeah. It was a good line. That was nice, that, actually. I just extra like that.
I like toying with them far more than Asa.
Yeah, I've noticed it.
And it's fun. I sort of seem to involve them much more. And it's more down to earth. I think Queen are more down to earth now. I remember before we were sort of up sky high and we were very sort of ostentatious or whatever. Everybody said we were
Grander than grand.
Yes, all this pomp and all that. Of course, we still have the pomp, but I think we've added this element of humour now, which I think. And I think the video for Break Free shocked quite a lot of people because they thought we didn't have that.
Yes.
And we actually went totally the other way and said, okay, we'll drag it up, even being called Queen.
Yeah.
And for a rock and roll band to actually do that, for like a heavy metal rock and roll band to do that, was quite exciting. We got into our ropes so easily. My God, you should have seen it. We put the slap on and there you are.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes, it was another challenge. It was another sort of tangent, as it were. And,
it's wonderful how they all know the words.
Yes, and that was...
And on the Radio Car video, they all did the actions, didn't they? That was very moving.
Yes, because in a funny way, we've only done... It's the 4th show, and I'm trying out a lot of things. And tonight was the first night where we actually did that song, and I didn't sing it. I thought, God, I'll go for it. I'll go. Yeah. I know they sing Love of My Life, but I thought, I Want to Break Free is quite new, and they sang it.
It was fantastic.
Very
moving. So, why did you take that 2-year break? You must have needed it. Why?
Yes, we did. We were all forming sort of a rut. I wanted to get out of this. For the last 10 years or whatever, we were doing. It was so routine. It was like go into the studio, do an album, go out on the road, go around the world, and flog it to death. And by the time we came back, it was time to do another album. And that routine is all right when you start off because you've got to keep the ball rolling, as it were. But after a while, I think it's like a painter. You have to sort of paint away, and then you've got to sort of stand back and look at it in perspective, and that's exactly what we needed. We needed to sort of, number one, be away from each other, and just otherwise, sometimes you don't realise you just keep going on with that routine, and you don't even know if you're actually going down. And I needed a break just to think and do other things. We all need that, and I think it sort of helped.
You've got this very strong, arrogant image on stage. You have put more humour into it. But is that you, or is that a defence?
I have to fight that because when I am actually, if you're talking in terms of trying to get a relationship together, I'm the nicest person you could meet, my dear.
Well, it's just that I have also.
It's just in terms of that, but it's just that I am handicapped, and therefore I have to sort of virtually fight my so-called stage persona. Most of the times it sort of works against me. That's the thing, and I have to fight that all the time. The funny thing is, like, I created the monster. I built myself up for one side, but then I have to find somebody to accept that in terms of a relationship. It's very hard. It's trying to segregate the two, and it's not easy. It's like two sides of a coin. I think over the years I have become bitter because I sort of learned more, and it makes you strong. And I have become bitter, and I just I don't trust anybody because they've let me down so many times.
Really?
Yes, they all have. And of course, the more you let down, the more you hurt. So I'm I feel I'm walking around with scars all over the place. You know, I think I couldn't take another scar.
And that's very sad when there's so many people sitting out in that audience that obviously love you, isn't it?
This is it. You could be the most lonely person. You could be so loved by so many thousands of people, yet you could be so lonely. And that makes it worse. The frustration of that is even worse, because most people just think that how can somebody like Freddie Mercury be lonely, because he has money, he has this, he has cars, chauffeurs, the lot. And in fact, sometimes that kind of loneliness is the hardest to bear.
Because you don't really belong to anyone, especially.
No, I mean, you have to sort of, you have to put your persona and all that. And you have to sort of, and I just find that I find it very hard to open up to people because I don't trust them others.
So you're really disillusioned at this with life somewhat, aren't you?
Well, yes and no. I'm disillusioned, but yet I think I've got a grip on myself. So I seem to be more aware. Sort of a contradiction in terms, isn't it? But but it is true. Sometimes maybe I wish I didn't talk so much and maybe not talk to people. It's just that I seem to find out more and more, and I find the more I find out, the more I realise how cruel it can be.
Artists do change for their success. It makes
of course it's changed me.
More arrogant, say.
It has, yes, of course it's changed me. But it's gone in sort of two stages. I would be a fool to actually decline the fact that it didn't change me in terms of being snobbish and arrogant or whatever. That was a stage. The first stage, of course, I was the bee's knees, and I thought nobody could. I just thought I was it. But then I've actually come to realizing that success can be handled in a different way, and I actually it's coming down to earth. I actually sort of pay more attention of actually making people realize that I am normal. You know what I mean? It's such this shit thing about people thinking, oh, Freddie Mercury, he won't talk to me. I think I've kept it in balance. And so there are two stages. I think success did change me, and now it's actually changed me yet again. Very much coming down, and I think I seem to cope with it quite well. I mean, you can't win, darling. You just can't win in my situation. That's the way it is. You can't win. The bit of happiness I can create is with my money. Okay, the money can't buy happiness. It's true. I've written a song called Money Can't Buy Happiness.
Yes.
But here I am the hypocrite, saying that depending on who you are, you can. Yeah, sometimes.
You can get happiness, can't you?
Yes, that's another form of getting happiness. It's like when I buy people presents, I love it far more than maybe they do. I love to see that kind of things.
Freddie, do you feel that a lot of people then don't realise the sensitivity within yourself because of this image?
I don't think most people realise that at all.
No.
But I don't lose sleep over that. I'm not going to go out looking for barrages of people saying, look, I am, that doesn't worry me. No. It's basically finding a few very close people who understand. That would be enough for me. Trying to get really true friends in this business is very hard.
One suggestion, which you probably already noticed, is that rock and roll has ruined you.
No, darling.
Do you agree with that?
No, I feel that I am the manipulator. I can govern those kind of things. It's like rock and roll is a drug, but you govern the drug, and it's one of those things. People say, rock and roll people, that people in the music business, they OD on drugs, and that's a killer and all that. Each to his own, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of that's a challenge to me. The same way as, say, love is, And, you rule the drug. And as far as that kind of thing is concerned, I would like to think that I'm in a very convenient position of actually ruling that thing. Otherwise, it would be my downfall. And if that was the case, it would have been a long time ago. Thank God I've got the intelligence to realize that, you can only go so far. And I would hate to think that anything like that would ever rule me. I don't need outside stimulus. See, I don't need to, because I feel that I have enough fantasy going around me and within me, and that's enough. So in terms of if I want a little buzz or a little high, it's like alcohol. That's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't need total outside stimulants to totally take over my body, so I don't know what I'm doing. That's something that's really inbred in me. Is that I hate to lose control. In that way, I would do something, but I have to make sure that I'm in total control of myself. Because of my persona on stage, they think that I carry on this way off stage. If I did, I would have been dead a long time ago, But I'm flamboyant, and I'm arrogant, and I like to do things fast. That's my nature.
Do you feel any kind of moral obligation to the young people that follow you in your own lifestyle?
My job is to make music, and if they like it, they buy it. And through that music, I think my music is very safe. I mean, it's not political, and I don't want it to be political anyway. I don't want to change their lives overnight. I don't want to involve them in peace messages or anything like that within the songs. As I've said that before. To me, it really is fodder. I want them to just enjoy. It's escapism, and I want them to enjoy my music for the period of time that they want. And then when they don't like it, they just discard the damn thing in the dustbin. Really. I'm not worried about the fact. I'm not going to be an Eva Peron, I don't want to go down in history worrying the fact that, my God, I hope they realise after I'm dead that I created something or I meant something. I don't give a shit if they forget me, to be honest. I really don't. Because life is for living. I don't. In the meantime, I've been having fun, and I want to go on having fun doing this. And that's basically it, because if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't do it on this at all. No. And if some of that, even just a trickle of it comes across to the people, then that's fine. And if my music makes people happy, that's a wonderful thing. That makes me very happy, and that's fine. And if people hate it, they can go buy somebody else's record.
Yeah. Now, I believe you're also doing a solo project, aren't you?
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to embark on that in about a week's time. So after I finish this, I go to Germany, and I'm actually going to be there for about 3 months, I think, and really go ahead with it. I've had ideas and things for years. Everybody's been asking me. In fact, the others have done their solo projects, and I've been the last one.
Yes.
Normally, they thought I was going to be the first one, but I've kept it. I wanted the time to be right, and I think this is the right time.
Have you written all the stuff yourself? With nobody else?
Well, I mean, I haven't finished writing it, of course.
No.
It's just.
But are you writing?
Yes, it's. No, I'd like other people to actually participate. When the times I've already worked with Michael Jackson about 6 months ago.
Oh,
nearly a year ago. Yes, we've got about 3 songs together which we haven't finished.
Oh, really?
So depending on his schedule and mine, we could get that together and maybe one of those songs could end up on my solo.
That's a good thing. People are obviously going to say, and I have to ask you this because you're doing your own solo thing. People are going to say, "Oh, are you going solo and leaving Queen?"
Well, I mean,
because that's the obvious question.
That is going to be obvious. No, at the moment, no such thing. No, we're probably sort of trying to plan a tour.
You are?
Yes, I think we're going to go to South Africa for a start, which we've never been. And
it's controversial, isn't it?
Yes. South Africa.
Now, why are you doing that? You don't mind doing that?
No, because I personally want to go to places I've never been. It's to me, it's people. Music should go all around the world. It doesn't matter. I mean, I want to go to Russia and China and places like that. Places I haven't been. Before it's too late. So.
I mean, too late. I mean,
before I end up in a wheelchair. I can't do anything. I'll still be wearing my same tights. Can you believe that? I can imagine them wheeling me on a wheelchair onto a piano, still singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
With all these people rushing off getting married, Fred, did you feel like doing something like that?
No, you know that.
Well, I know that, but I have to ask you as a journalist.
No marriage.
No marriage.
I love being free. I want to break free.
That's very good.
I love being free.
Yes. Yeah.
Free as a bird. I think I've just gotten 2 years to it. Do you know, to be honest, I think after all, I just feel I'm having such a good time that I'm going to do it. And I think, like Elton, I think we're the same age. I mean, when I reach 40 or something, you never know. It's people change, and suddenly you want to sort of settle down or whatever and have babies just like he did. I think he got there a bit quicker. I thought he would have waited. You never know. It could happen. I really can't see myself being married, but
no.
At the same time,
you wouldn't rule out having
exactly.
children.
Yes, exactly. So you never. I was thinking that. I mean, at the moment, if I wanted children, you just got to have and buy one. Buy 2, you get a nanny thrown.
Do you actually enjoy it all still, Freddie? I mean, like you're just saying, how many years?
Oh yes. Otherwise, I would do something else. Otherwise, I'd go into painting or something. Of course, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I enjoy every bit of it. I'm not afraid of saying, I enjoy the money, of course. I mean, most people say, oh, they're not in for the money or whatever. I love the money. That's what keeps me going about it. But at the same time, after 12 years of a certain respect, musically, I'm not going to just give it up, The only way I'm going to stop is people to stop buying my records. I'm going to say to myself one day that, look, it's not happening. I'm not going to be one of those old hands that keep going and going until, if I feel I'm sort of on the way down, I'll just give it. I'd rather leave it at the top.
Yes.
I'm one of those people who just do something else.
Yes. Yes. How's the relationship within the group? I mean, are they...
Well, we hate each other. It's okay. I think we've just sort of grown so used to each other by now. It's just instincts that keep us going, and basically all people that work together. There's no sort of no big bond or sort of...
No.
You
don't socialise?
I don't socialise them that much. Because, I mean, we do socialise, we used to socialise so much when we were on tour, because we're always seeing each other, and then it's sort of, in any sort of anybody's life, you get the same people hanging around and drive you mad. This is the thing that keeps us going musically. We still respect each other. But otherwise, I mean, we have 4 very different characters, and it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as if musically we don't get on, then that's when it starts. That's when tempers. I mean, tempers do fly anyway. But it's just in the end, if you can't stand the other person being in the same room musically, well, then you have to say, "Oh, forget it." Because I mean, it's just torture.
Do you feel a fulfilled person yourself now?
At the moment, I'm very happy. Actually.
You are?
Yes, I'm very...
Why are you very happy at the moment?
Because I don't... I think I don't have as many problems as I did before. That's the only way. Before I was just sort of... I was just bogged down by things. I think I've just grown up, and I'm just... I'm just... I don't know, I'm just happy. I haven't got any problems. Of course, I have problems, but I mean, maybe I've sort of learned how to deal with them, not to sort of get too bogged down by them.
Are you in love with anyone at the moment?
Would you die if I said myself?
Well, why not? That's a good point.
It's not so much. I think I've learned to come to grips with myself.
Yes.
Maybe that was the thing. I mean, before I was sort of blaming it on everybody else, and I think taking this time off did work. And it sounds so cliche, doesn't it? It sounds like I sound like Gloria Swanson talking to you.
Well, she laughed for a long time.
I'll come down the stairs. Don't worry. I'll be down the stairs. No, I think that break really helped. It was something that I had never done before.
Gave you time to think.
Yeah. And yes, maybe a better person. God, I sound like Barbara Streisand, What are all these people saying about me?
Well, what did you realise after the think and the readjusting?
I actually said to myself that you can be happy, but you don't have to sort of worry about things all the time. You can just sort of let them ride. I mean, before I used to just attack each problem as it came. It was like a big thing with me. I had to sort of cross that hurdle, otherwise I couldn't sort of survive. I couldn't do anything else. And now I just think, oh God, if that, it's a small example. It's like this big house. Most people are saying, what are you doing? You've got this massive, great thing, and it's costing so much money, and all that for 4 years, and you haven't, aren't you worried what's going to happen? I just said, oh, shit. I want to do it at the time. Whatever my mind says, whatever my heart tells me to do.
And do you have someone to share your life with?
At the moment, I'm living totally alone, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm loving it, yes. I've sacked about 3 people that worked with me, and that was wonderful. I mean, I was so scared of doing that because I thought I was going to hurt them, and I just thought, no, just do it, and there you are.
Yeah.
They've gone, and the other day, there was nobody there. And it's like before, I thought, I can't live alone, there's got to be people around. I can do that, I have nobody staying with me, and I have a cleaning lady that comes in, and Mary comes and looks after me. It's poverty-stricken, isn't it? I do, but I love it. I love the space. I finally created a sort of space for myself.